So what is the definition of a good return? Because like you said, the average Nifty has given in the last 20, 30 years is sub 15%,
Not sub 12%.
12%, 12% returns.
Yes, because for 25 at 12 to 15 is a huge
correct.
and
So
compounding.
12% Nifty 50 has given.
Yeah.
So that that is average returns.
Yeah.
Let's say that's an average investor. They don't need to come to you.
Yes.
If they just put in Nifty 50 index fund, they will get that.
Yeah.
So can you go and tell me what are the levels of good returns from there?
So even, let me answer this question, 12%. 12% return, but what kind of drawdown? That is very
Nifty 50 drawdown has been quite a lot. 30%.
58% in 2008.
In 2008 and 33%, 34% in
34% in COVID. So if I am to deliver 12% to my client and I can do 12% CAGR without going down through 58% journey, then I'm adding value.
Yes.
Or similarly, suppose somebody is willing to take 58% drawdown, then I need to deliver more than 12%. Else you need to go, he just simply go to Nifty.
Have you met anybody who is willing to take 58% drawdown?
No, nobody's willing to do that, but it happens.
Yeah.
We tell people this happened. So it's very fascinating, the story. I was associated with the HDFC Flexi Cap Fund, and I looked at history of that fund. It's incredible. That fund's NAV goes down 10% every year. 15 to 20% every 2 years. 30% every 4-5 years, and 50% every 8 years.
Really?
Yeah, you plot the NAV of HDFC Flexi Cap. This is the way you create wealth.
Every 8 years, there could be a drawdown of 50%.
This happened in the company's NAV started in 94 at 10 rupees. By end 95, the NAV was 95, 1st January 95. By end 96, it was rupees 485. Then it went up to 28, 29 rupees in 2000. It came to 2001 below 14 rupees. In 2008, it went to 220 rupees. It came to 91, 92 rupees in 2008 crisis. So it kept happening.
So let us look at what is exceptional returns according to you. What do you sort of try to achieve when you give advice?
It's very, very funny. Once in a 10, 12 years, we get fantastic opportunity. Like in 2021, we took a call on PSUs, and it worked like magic. But these kind of opportunity don't come every year. And these kind of opportunity, when I started in PSU fund, I looked at, okay, I'll make 50%, but deliver 200% return. So, but I not targeted 200% return. I targeted कि 2-3 साल में 50% बन जाएगा, but deliver. It was a different story altogether. So you need to pick between longevity and multiple. So for a 10-year to grow 5 times, you can achieve in certain phase of your life.
10 years to grow 5 times, I need to generate at least 16, 17?
20%.
20%.
20%.
20% CAGR will be?
18-20%. You can 10 year, you can grow your wealth. But these kind of things will happen through, by sheer accident or sheer, some brilliance. But it cannot be repeated.
Oh, you're saying it's like 17-18% is not repeatable?
Not at all. You can't have that kind of consistent. You had historically, but going forward, you'll not have that kind of the fund deliver. Like in India, we have a 30-year average of 17-18% CAGR. That is history. Because at that time, interest rate was also 12-14%.
Yeah.
So I don't think that will get repeated in India.
So what is the realistic return?
I think 12 to 15% is what you should target, in my opinion.
But 12 to Nifty 50 only will give, no?
Going forward,
will not give.
Let's see.
What do you mean by that? Let's see.
Because you have 50% of Nifty 50 is being, look at what it is, FMCG, IT, bank, 35 to 37% bank, 12% FMCG, 8% IT industry. So 50% plus is the kind of industries where we don't see big growth coming, very honest.
So you're saying 12 to 15% returns average is what you should target for.
We should, and more importantly, you should look at longevity. How long we can compound even 12%. That is the most difficult task. Longevity is the most difficult task.
But if you ask the average, let's say 25-year-old person today, and if you tell this person 12% returns is what I can help you, they will not want to take the help, right? They'll be like, I don't need your help for 12%. So what answer would you give them?
So they are old driver and they are bold driver. But you will not find old driver who's bold.
Okay.
If you're a bold driver, you'll not remain old.
Okay.
You will die young.
Interesting.
Investing journey, longevity is the most underrated thing. The most underrated thing is that can I compound 12% for 20 years? If you compound 12% for 20 years, you do 1 lakh rupees SIP. You compound 12% for 20 years. From a 21st year, you can take out 8 lakh rupees per month for next 40 years and your wealth will not deplete. But people don't understand the power of longevity. We are so much focusing on 20%. If somebody tell me I can generate 25% CAGR, okay? I ask them, who in your opinion is the greatest fund manager on the earth? Give me 3 names and look at their 20-30 year CAGR. What is the possibility of beating them? But I believe I can do better than that. So I look at Virat Kohli playing fast bowler, 140, 150 kilometer. And I see what Virat Kohli got. He got a bat, he got a helmet, he got guard, everything. I can buy everything from the market. So I get selected onto IPL. No experience of playing cricket, but I watch Virat Kohli. Now suppose somebody's Shane Warne is coming at 150 km per hour bowling to me. I got everything what Virat Kohli got. What will happen to me on first ball?
Probably go to the hospital.
Exactly. If I'm lucky, I get out.
Yeah.
So, so that is people don't understand these things. Okay.
So let's keep equity aside. So
Yeah.
equity is a beast by itself.
Yeah.
And you're saying future expectations should be kept at 12 to 15%. But when you mix multiple assets and try to rebalance the portfolio in a very strategic manner, for example, gold has doubled and tripled, we've seen these kind of returns. So when you mix multiple asset classes and move money and rotate capital from equity to gold to debt, can't I expect to get higher than 15% returns?
Not possible. Try doing it. Because what happens is that today we're talking about multi-asset because the gold has done very well.
Yeah.
Else we'll not be talking about it. Okay. So there was a period where gold has not done anything. Even in recent past, from 2011 to 2017-18, for a 7-year period, gold does not deliver any return. What would you do as an investor?
Take out my money.
Exactly. When you should be investing in gold when 10-year returns are less than 10%. But it can remain there for a couple of years again. So to deliver 15-16% consistently is impossible.
No, I'm not saying just with gold. I'm just saying when you have a proper balanced portfolio, let us say, for example, 60% equity, 30% gold, 10% debt, and I take strategic calls in between in terms of where do I go overweight and underweight depending on geopolitical and macroeconomic issues. And even within my equity, I sort of do that sectoral rotation. So if I do this, can't I hope to get 18-20% returns?
Looks very difficult to me.
Okay.
The biggest delta would always come from equities. But what you can do is you can reduce your drawdown by going strategically where you see the market is topping up based on certain data point. Definitely at that time you can reduce equity exposure.
Okay.
Similarly in the gold, when you look at data where 10-year returns are 7%, 8%, you can go long on gold. And when you see gold returns in excess of 17-18% for a 15-year plus, 15% plus over a 10-year period, that is the time you should start reducing the gold exposure. But it is easier said than done.
Interesting.